أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل إني أخاف إن عصيت ربي عذاب يوم عظيم قل الله أعبد مخلصا له ديني فاعبدوا ما شئتم من دونه قل إن الخاسرين الذين خسروا أنفسهم وأهليهم يوم القيامة ألا ذلك هو الخسران المبين لهم من فوقهم ظلل من النار ومن تحتهم ظلل ذلك يخوف الله به عباده يا عباد فاتقون صدق الله العظيم. These are ayats from Surah Az-Zomar, the ayah number 14, 15 and 16. قل الله أعبد مخلصا له ديني. Say, I worship Allah only. I worship Allah alone. I do not share any partner with Allah. I do not associate anyone with Allah in His worship. I worship Allah alone. I worship the only Creator. Qulillah. Say, I worship the only one God alone. Mukhlisan lahu dini. And I disclude anyone or anything other than Allah from my religion. My religion is only to Allah. Mukhlisan lahu dini. My purpose in this religion is only Allah. I want to please Him. I want to please Allah, and I worship only Him. Mukhlisan lahu dini. Making the religion only for Allah. He is the owner of the religion, and we are obliged to make the religion pure only to Allah Azza wa Jal. Mukhlisan lahu dini. And as we told in the previous lecture, that this is very essential thing in Islam, making the religion pure, purity of the belief, purity of the religion, only to Allah Azza wa Jal. No object in this religion other than Allah Azza wa Jal. We only إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. We only worship you, and we only ask for you. We only want from you, no one else. We do not accept any God or any something like God other than you. You are the only one God, and this is our way. This is very essential, very important. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. We only worship you. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And we only ask for support, ask for any needy from you, O Allah Azza wa Jal. This is our way. Say like this. Say, I worship Allah alone. قُلِ اللَّهَ أَعْبُدُ. This is my way. I worship the only one God. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. You may do whatever you want. Your preference is due to you. It's yours preference. I worship the only one God. You may do what you may worship to whomever, to whom so you want. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. Of course, it's clear that this is a very big threat from Allah Azza wa Jal. Do whatever you want. اعملوا ما شئتم إنه بما تعملون بصير. Do whatever you want. Allah is Basir. Allah is aware of what you are doing. This is like that ayah. This is a threat. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. You may worship whatever you want, or whatever you want to worship. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. By this word, Allah Azza wa Jalla wanted us to separate ourselves from those who worship something or someone other than Allah Azza wa Jalla. We should announce our difference in this matter. We should say, Inna bura'a'u minkum wa mimma ta'buduna min dunillah. Just like Ibrahim alayhi salam said, we are away from whatever you worship, from whatever you cry out other than Allah Azza wa Jal. You are asking some peoples or some idols for your needy other than Allah Azza wa Jal. So we do not share, it's not common between us. We do not share your belief. We separate ourselves. We disown ourselves from you. Inna bura'a'u minkum wa mimma ta'buduna min dunillah. And this is the ayah number 14 and 15 in the same way. قُلِ اللَّهَ أَعْبُدُ مُخْلِصًا لَهُ دِينِي. You should say that I worship the only one God. This is my way. Announce to them that you worship the only one God. And say to them, فَعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. Okay, you are free to worship whatever you want. This freeness Allah has given to you from Allah Azza wa Jalla. In this life, as a test, Allah Azza wa Jalla gave an amana. This is your will. You can do, you may do whatever you want. اعملوا ما شئتم. This is your will. But do not forget that you are responsible about them. Allah Azza wa Jalla, the owner of the life, the one who created you, the one who gave you whatever you have, will ask you one day, why did you do that? Why did you worship someone other than me? Will ask you. But for now, you can use your will in any way as you want. اعملوا ما شئتم. Because this is a test from Allah Azza wa Jal. If He oblige you to do something in certain way, then you would not be responsible for that things. So therefore Allah Azza wa Jalla gave you full authority to do whatever you want, to worship whomever you want. But He warned us that He will ask for. You will be responsible for what you are doing. اعملوا ما شئتم إنه بما تعملون بصير. Allah Azza wa Jalla, we said that He did not oblige us to be believers. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ. We have guided the humankind to the true way. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ. We opened the true way before Him. But not the true way only. إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. Both of them. If He wants, He can be grateful. Or if He wants, He can be ungrateful. Both of the way opened. We have opened both of the way to the human entity. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. He may choose one of them, but He is, of course, responsible. And He has the ability to choose the truth. He can notice the truth. We made Him aware. We give Him awareness about the truth. But if He wants to choose the false way deliberately, intentionally, then we will ask Him. We will take Him and ask Him about that falsehood that He committed. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. So there is a Mashiach in the person. We have a Mashiach, we have a will, and that is the source of our responsibility. If we do not have any will, how can we be responsible about our deeds? Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us a will, and we do whatever we want through that will. Of course, that will also comes from Allah Azza wa Jalla. He created, He gave us that ability, but it's an ability given to us for a certain period of time, and we are using them. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. We do not have that ability free from Allah Azza wa Jalla. We wasn't have that ability before Allah Azza wa Jalla gave it to us. No, Allah Azza wa Jalla gave that ability to us. But after He gave us that ability, He did not oblige us to do certain things, to be believer or to be disbeliever. Allah does not inflict any wrong upon His servants. He made them free in this life in order to test them. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah did want to make all the people one kind of people, all of them same, لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah did want that, of course He would do that. But He did not will in that way. He gave them a freeness. He made them free in this life in order that everyone can show himself, whether he want to be from the righteous people or he want to be from the bad people. Either he want to prefer the true way, the truth, or he want to be a cruel man, or he want to oppress himself and the people surrounding him. Allah Azza wa Jalla opened the way in front of the people so that they can show themselves and to be responsible for their deeds. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah did will that, He would do all the people as one kind of people. But Allah did not will that. لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُم. But Allah made them free, and so because of that will that Allah Azza wa Jalla gave them, you can see that they are different. They differ each one from the another because they have the free. This is an important improve that we have a free will, so that we can do whatever we want, and there is difference between us. The differences between us is the improve that we have a free will, and that is Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us. وَلِذَلِكَ وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُم. The differences between the human entity is the improve. It improves that there is a free will in every single man in this life. وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُمْ وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمَ مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. This is the way, this is the test in this life. So the essential thing in this test, the free will, and we have that free will. So you understand the truth, so announce that you worship the only one God, and say to those who do not want to worship the only one God, you can worship whatever you want. You have the same free will and you can use it. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. But it's not everlastingly permission, it's only for this life, to show yourselves that you do not want to acknowledge that the oneness of Allah. You do not want to acknowledge the only one who created you. You want to be master of yourselves. You want to live as you want. You do not want to regard the truth in your life. If so, worship whatever you want. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. And there is an important detail in the ayah, مِن دُونِهِ. You can worship whatever you want, but you should know that whoever or whatever you worship, they will lower than Allah Azza wa Jal. You are not increasing your position. You are decreasing your position when you worship something else other than Allah or with Allah. It's not important. If you worship something other than Allah, if you deny Allah completely and worship something else, or if you worship Allah one day and you worship something other day, or you worship both of them, all of them is bad way, all of them is shirk, all of them is denying, disbelieving, all of them is kufr. No difference between them. So فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. But you should know that if you worship anyone, anything beside Allah or other than Allah, you are not increasing your position. You are not save yourselves. You are decreasing your position. You worship someone lower than Allah Azza wa Jal. And through this way, you take a big risk. Because Allah may anger to you, the only one, the only creator whom you acknowledge and we acknowledge that He created everything. But when you start to worship someone or something beside Allah Azza wa Jal, you take a big risk, because the only one creator may anger. You may have His wrath over you because you started to deal something or someone like Allah Azza wa Jal. إِذْ نُسَوِّيكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. How we made you equal to Allah Azza wa Jalla, said the people whom Allah Azza wa Jalla had put them to the hellfire. فَكُبْكِبُوا فِيهَا هُمَّ الْغَاوُونَ وَجُنُودُ إِبْلِيسَ أَجْمَعُونَ قَالُوا تَاللَّهِ إِن كُنَّا لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. They said, in Allah's name, we were in a plain dalala. We were in a plain misguidance. They acknowledged that they were guilty in their life. And they said why they were guilty or how they were guilty. They said, إِذْ نُسَوِّيكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. How we made you equal. Those people whom they worshipped, they said, how we made you equal with Allah Azza wa Jal, with the only one creator. And because of that reason, Allah Azza wa Jalla put them in hellfire. They are and those they worshipped, all of them. Hum wal ghawun wa junud iblis ajma'un. They said, how we made you equal with the only one creator? How did we do that? إِذْ نُسَوِّيكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. This is shirk. So you should announce that I do not worship except the one created me. If someone asks you, who do you worship? Say, I worship the only one who created everything. No need to name Him. No need to say anything else about Him. He is the one who created everything. The only one creator, the only one God. قُلِ اللَّهَ. Say, I do worship the only one God. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. You can worship whatever you want. And in the world today, you can see many nations, many peoples. Some worships the idols, some worships many things else other than Allah Azza wa Jal. But all of them worship something lower than the only one creator. And if they claim that they worship something or someone's other than Allah, yes, lower than Allah, but they will have their support in the life to come. If they claim that they have more safety through this way, no, they are taking a big risk through this way. Look how the Abraham alayhi salam said to his people also were worshipping Allah and many things beside Allah. He said them, وَكَيْفَ أَخَافُ مَا أَشْرَكْتُمْ. How do I fear those whom you are worshipping other than Allah? وَلَا تَخَافُونَ أَنَّكُمْ. But you do not fear that you associate many things with Allah in your worship. You do not fear from what you are doing and offer me to fear from Allah Azza wa Jalla, or from the thing that you shared, the partners that you shared with Allah Azza wa Jalla. How do I fear from those partners, from those idols? I do not need fear of them. You should fear of Allah Azza wa Jal. You are guilty. You are worshipping many things beside Allah Azza wa Jal. You are dealing with something as if they are equal with Allah Azza wa Jal. فَأَيُّ الْفَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَقُّ بِالْأَمْنِ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Now, you or I am deserve the safety. Look, who is the one deserve the safety? فَأَيُّ الْفَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَقُّ بِالْأَمْنِ. You or me? I do not worship anything or anyone who is the only one creator. I depend myself and my life to Him only. I believe Him and I put my rely to Him. I put my trust to Him. But you do not put your trust. You need some support, you need some support else. Allah Azza wa Jalla is not adequate to you, is not enough to you. So you need something else. Look, who is increasing the position of Allah Azza wa Jalla and who decreasing the position of Allah Azza wa Jalla? You need many gods other than Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla is not sufficient to you. You do not believe in Him as He is sufficient to you. But I believe He is sufficient in my life, and I should live only for His pleasant. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي. Say, my praying, my life, my death, all of them is for the only one Creator who created all the worlds. Lillahi Rabbil Alameen. This is my position, and this is your position. You do not deserve more safety. Nay, you are in very bad risk. You are in very big risk. You should fear of yourselves. You should fear of what you are doing. كيف أخاف ما أشركتم ولا تخافون أنكم أشركتم بالله ما لم ينزل به عليكم سلطانا. In these ayats, Allah Azza wa Jalla made the truth plain before His servants, and He said to His believers, the people whom He believed to Allah Azza wa Jalla, you should say to them, I worship Allah Azza wa Jalla alone, and I make my religion purely to Allah Azza wa Jalla. I do not need any God else, and actually I do not see any God else. هذا خلق الله فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه. These are Allah's creation. Can you show me any creation else? Anyone who creates something? Can you show? No. So it's obvious and it's very clear that there is no any God other than the only one God. So the way is clear. If you want to worship something or someone lower than Allah Azza wa Jalla, okay, go ahead. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Those whom you are calling, whom you are asking other than Allah, عِبَادٌ أَمْثَالُكُمْ. Those are servants like you. They are creatures like you. How can you cry out to Him? How can you invoke them? How can you believe that they can do favor to you or they can save you. فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. قُلْ, say, إِنَّ الْخَاسِرِينَ, those, the losers, الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا, who lost, أَنفُسَهُمْ, themselves. How can the person, how can one can lose himself? This is our life. This is a very big favor that Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us. We should use it in true way. We should evaluate it. If we do not use our life, if we do not evaluate it in true way, then we will lose our life. We will lose this chance. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He says, الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ, those who lose their selves, it means that they lose whatever they have. They lose their selves, their chance to be in favors, in gardens, in the life to come, in paradise, in the life to come. But they lose their chance. They used their life in bad way. الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ, so they lose their selves. They do not did bad thing for others. They crimed themselves. They wronged themselves. الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ. And in the Quran many ayat say ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ, wronged themselves. It means that they did that bad things for themselves only. وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَقَدْ ظَلَمَ نَفْسَهُ. And who do so, he will oppress himself, not anyone else. الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا, so the losers, when Allah Azza wa Jalla describes them, He says الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُم, those who lose themselves. And what else? وَأَهْلِيهِمْ, and their families, their children, their wives. وَأَهْلِيهِمْ, and their parents. They lose themselves. Either they had gone in paradise and he couldn't go there with them, or maybe all of them couldn't go to paradise and all of them in hellfire, but they will never meet again. They will never feel happiness again. This is the biggest, this is the manifest loss. Allah Azza wa Jalla describe it, and we seek refuge in Allah Azza wa Jalla from such position in that life. Na'udhu billahi minha. This is the biggest loss. Biggest loss. You lose yourselves and lose whatever you love in this life. From your parents, your wives, your children. You lose all of them and you will never meet again with the happiness. الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَهْلِيهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, in the day of resurrection. If you want to attain such end, such conclusion, so worship whatever you want. But you should know where you are going by worshipping other than Allah, by denying yourself, by denying your mind, by denying your reasoning, your intellect. You should know your direction. This way will take you to the hellfire and you will lose whatever you have. So this is very clear, very obvious threat to those who worship other or beside Allah Azza wa Jal. فَالَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَهْلِيهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. And in that day Allah Azza wa Jal will separate them. إِنَّ يَوْمَ الْفَصْلِ مِيقَاتُهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. So because of that reason Allah Azza wa Jalla gave the name the separation day, يَوْمُ الْفَصْلِ, the day that will separate between some people. And that separation is everlastingly. They will never meet again. It doesn't like your trip in this life, when you go somewhere and you return back. And while you are going, you feel some sadness in yourselves. Every separation feels sadness in yourself. But may you imagine the separation that Allah Azza wa Jalla talk about here, which will never meet again. This is the biggest separation, and this is the only one thing that deserves the name of separation. Inna yawm al-fasl, and that day Allah Azza wa Jalla described it with the separation day. Inna yawm al-fasl miqatuhum ajma'un. So before that separation, Allah Azza wa Jalla warned His servants in order that they keep themselves from worshipping other than Allah, from worshipping something beside Allah, and warn them to use their mind, and warn them to reflect on the issues on this life and to contemplate about their life, and began to prepare to His life that will come. This is the way of Allah Azza wa Jalla when He warn or when He give message to His servants. And it didn't change through the history. Whenever Allah Azza wa Jalla sent prophet, He warned the people to worship the only one God. In the Quran, whenever the prophets say, إني لكم نذير مبين ألا تعبدوا إلا الله, I am a manifest warner to you in order that you do not worship other than your Lord. ألا تعبدوا إلا الله, in order that you do not worship other than the only one God. This is the only message that all the prophets, all the messengers came with. قل إن الخاسرين الذين خسروا أنفسهم وأهليهم يوم القيامة. This is the losers. Allah Azza wa Jalla defined them and said in the end of the ayah, ألا, you should aware, be careful, that ذلك هو الخسران المبين. This is the biggest loss. No loss bigger than this loss. ذلك هو الخسران المبين. When you lose this, so then you do not have anything. It means that you did not win any. No matter if you had won in your life, it isn't important. If you lose this, okay, you lost everything. You lost yourselves. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. The ajr, the reward is the reward in the akhirah. The reward in dunya is not important. The reward in this life is not important. It's only وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. It's only a temptation's enjoyment, nothing else. You will have it one day and you will lose it the day after it. But if you want to talk about a true reward, if you want to talk about a permanent reward, something everlastingly, وَإِنَّ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. In that case, the life of the akhirah is the real life. The life in this life is not real. Allah Azza wa Jalla say, وَإِنَّ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. The life to come is the real life. If you want it, you should prepare yourself to it. And the rule to attain it is to reason whatever you have and to follow the true way. To use your intellect. To be open for everything and to understand and to follow the true way. You should not oblige yourselves for something that you do not understand. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. This is the way of Islam. This is the way of Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla teach us. You should understand and then follow. You should not follow without understand. Or you must not follow if you do not understand. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ, because you have inadequate ability to understand. إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. So we are in this life have to understand that there is a real reward in the akhirah. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. And the real lose in the akhirah, not in this life. You may lose many things in this life, and you may attain them again. In this life there is many lose, many wins, but all of them means nothing when you die. But in the akhirah is important. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. If you attain something, if Allah Azza wa Jalla give you some reward in the akhirah, then it means ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْمُبِينُ. This is the real and this is the biggest prosper. Then it means that you had won. It's the real winning. But if you lose, فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ. If Allah Azza wa Jalla saved you from the hellfire, who was swayed from the fire, فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ, and admitted to the paradise, فَقَدْ فَازَ, then he had won. This is the real won. And this is the thing that we need. We want to attain it. This is what we look for. And this is the only thing that may sufficient to us. We will not feel sufficient. We will not, nothing will enough for us in this life. But in the akhirah, the Jannah, it's the only thing that we will feel it sufficient to ourselves. Because of that reason, Allah Azza wa Jalla described it as the biggest one, or as the only one. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. And otherwise it is the biggest loss. If you could not reach that attainment, if you could not reach the paradise, if Allah Azza wa Jalla did not forgive you, if you couldn't live in this life in order to please Him, then you will lose. If you did deny Allah Azza wa Jalla in your life, if you overlooked Him while you are living, then you will attain the biggest khusran, the biggest lose. Allah Azza wa Jalla will put you in the fire of hell. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْخُسْرَانُ الْمُبِينُ. And this putting is not for a day or for limited of time, it's everlastingly. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْخُسْرَانُ الْمُبِينُ. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla will not forgive the one who denied Him, the one who associated something with Him. Allah Azza, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ. If you did something like that, shirk or kufr, if you denied Him, or if you shared some partners with Allah Azza wa Jal, if you had some equals with Allah Azza wa Jal, if you dealt with them as if you deal with Allah Azza wa Jal, then Allah Azza wa Jal will not forgive you. In the Quran, Allah says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ. Allah do not forgive that sin. But He may forgive, وَيَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. He may forgive any sin else. Allah Azza wa Jal may forgive. But He do not forgive the one who denied Him. And how can we expect that Allah Azza wa Jalla forgive the one who denies Allah Azza wa Jalla? You deny Allah Azza wa Jalla. You do not respect Him. You do not deal with Him as if He is the one who created everything. You put something others with Allah Azza wa Jalla, associate many things with Allah Azza wa Jalla. You did not respect Allah Azza wa Jalla as the only one creator, how do you expect that he forgive you? So فَاعْبُدُوا مَا شِئْتُم مِّن دُونِهِ. If you do not respect Allah as the only one creator, and you want to worship anything else, do whatever you want, but do not forget that this way will take you to the biggest loss. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا، ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا، ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.